Amid the violence on the battlefields of Gaza, medical volunteers from across the world are stationed in the war zone giving aid to the victims of war. A team of Hong Kong volunteers recently returned from their mission in Gaza. They recounted their experience in the conflict and offered advice to those who wish to provide assistance to the people of Gaza. Timothy Lee tells us more.
The International Committee of the Red Cross has estimated that more than 28,000 people have died from the Israel-Hamas war in Gaza, and many more suffered life-changing injuries. Having just returned from Gaza, Dr. Au Kai and his team from the Hong Kong Red Cross were among the many international medical volunteers sent to provide aid to victims of the conflict. They were the first batch of volunteers from Hong Kong to enter the conflict zone back in late December last year. Dr. Au spoke with the press today, recalling some of his most harrowing experiences in the war zone, including how he had to perform a skin graft on a 13-year-old boy who suffered severe burns on nearly half his body, as well as operating under the shock of artillery fire in crowded hospitals. The veteran medical volunteer, who served in more than 20 overseas missions in countries such as Ukraine, Yemen, and Iraq, said his team often lightened the mood by calling nearby gunfire and explosions their morning alarm.
Less than 30% of the hospital is functioning or partially functioning. So I guess when the time I arrived, I know there is only around 9 hospitals. This is not my first time in a war zone, working in a war zone. This is my 8th time working in a war zone. But this time is most give me most emotion, and then aspiration is this time because I really see a lot of injured people. They're the most lovely, innocent civilian people, and I have to look after them.
Dr. Au said many family members and friends of the injured would choose to stay in the hospital as they believed they were safe from Israeli attacks there. He also shared his advice with those who wish to follow his example and help the victims in the Gaza Strip.
Number one is that I hope through the media we can bring Hong Kong people to understand, or at least to care about what happened, not just in Hong Kong and also outside Hong Kong.
As of now, the Hong Kong Red Cross has already allocated $1.6 million to the International Committee of the Red Cross to support people affected by the conflict and are planning to take further measures. Dr. Au Kai urged members of the community to donate more to non-governmental organizations to support those suffering in the conflict in Gaza and to increase awareness and compassion for victims of the war. Timothy Lee, TVB News.